Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we all understand that Rigathi Gachagua has been facing corruption case in the court. His account was frozen, and on 28th of this month, Justice Esther Maina ruled that the 200 million shillings in Rigathi Gachagua account should be recovered by the Asset Recovery Agency because Gachagua was not able to prove how he acquired this money. After that, DCI decided to expose Rigathi Gachagua on how he acquired money fraudulently by using innocent youth, registering several companies on their name, then supplying some goods, sometimes even supplying nothing to the government, county governments, and all other departments, including even hospitals, to get money. So, once Rigathi Gachagua has acquired a contract from the government using his position, then the money will be wired to Rafiki Microfinance account. Then from there, he had two individuals who were signatory to that account. So the money will now be transferred to Rigathi Gachagua's personal account. So he ended up getting all the money, and the 20 companies registered under the youth end up having nothing. And the DCI has decided to explain blow by blow how Gachagua was conducting this business by using the youth. So let us go through it, because I'm seeing very funny story here, because now this case is exposing Rigathi Gachagua and the kind of UDA government or Kenya government, whichever they might form. Because as we are speaking now, we are seeing the UDA opponent are doing it better, because we are seeing the billboard being raised with Rigathi Gachagua showing the 200 million being recovered at Thika Road, wameka hizo billboard huko, and they are also showing how the court has been able to rule on that case. So the color is UDA, the person, the image in that billboard is Rigathi Gachagua and the 200 million. And they are saying freedom is coming, because that is what UDA has been selling to people in this country, that freedom is coming. The question is, freedom is coming is fraudulently acquiring money using the youth here, walomeita, bottom up, and all those things. Now let us go through what DCI has shared. How Madira MP Rigathi Gachagua used youth to launder taxpayers' money in fraudulent tender deals. The Directorate of Criminal Investigation welcomes yesterday ruling by High Court Judge Esther Maina directing Madira Member of Parliament Rigathi Gachagua to forfeit 200 million shillings to state which acquired fraudulently from government agency through corrupt deals. This is after legislator failed to prove to the court how he obtained the money after it was wired from different government agency to Rafiki Microfinance owned by the legislator. A comprehensive investigation conducted by Sleuth based at the Serious Criminal Unity unearthed detail of how the MP used different companies to fraudulently secure government tenders. Using proxies who had registered over 20 companies, Rigathi obtained over 1.7 billion from close to 10 government ministry, state department, parastatals, and the county governments paid through Rafiki Microfinance. The MP and two of his trust female associates approached youth and the women. Look at that. Youth and women, that was his target. To register companies and open accounts at Rafiki Microfinance. Then use his influence and blackmail to secure tender from the companies. Watu ambao wanatumika hapa, it is youth and women. Let us go on. In a well orchestrated and executed plan, the youth were then given loan by the microfinance and assisted to supply the required goods, most of which were substandard and broken down immediately after being delivered, leading to loss of hundreds of millions of taxpayers' money. Hospitals were the most targeted by the crooked thug who took advantage of efforts by county governments to equip their health facility and offer specialized health service to the public. In one such deal, in 2014, a county based in central Kenya received medical equipment worth 27.4 million shillings for supplying of dialysis machine and the water treatment plant. The tender for supply of the equipment was awarded to 13 companies, all allied to Rigathi. However, the payment was made in a single voucher through Rafiki Microfinance, then transferred to Rigathi's personal account. Look at that. This is despite the fact that one of the dialysis machine and the water treatment plant supplied were not functional, prompting the national government through managed equipment scheme to come through by supplying 8 dialysis machine and the water treatment plant that are currently in use at the hospital. So what you supply is fake. Now it forces the national government to come in and supply the right good. At the South Coast, a hospital received an incinerator worth cash 12.7 million shillings supplied by one of Rigathi associate in 2014. The incinerator has never been put to use since it was a faulty junk. Yet the county government had paid 10 million shillings for it. During the same year, a county in Western Kenya also traded with the crook member of parliament through proxies for supplying of medical equipment to a tune of 123.1 million shillings. I think hii ni Bungoma. Shockingly, after the tender were paid to the proxies, shortly after the tender were paid to the proxies account at Rafiki Microfinance, Jahenda would immediately transfer the money to other account belonging to Rigathi, who would then deposit the monies in the other different accounts to avoid detection by our hawk-eye length. So Jahenda is one of the Rigathi Gachagua's associate, who is a signatory to Rafiki Microfinance. Now the story continues. In some cases, the poor youth would be compelled to sign blank check that would later be cashed and the money deposited to Rigathi's personal account. Look at that. The seasoned length also established that there were funds going into Rigathi's account from loan and intercompany transfer, indicating that he was the ultimate beneficiary of the fund received from the counties. The poor suppliers were then left paying for the loans they acquired at the microfinance and supplied junk to county hospitals. It is through the painstaking investigation by Select from the Serious Criminal Unit that this high-level fraud was detected, leading to the freezing of 201,911,371.28 belonging to the MP by the Asset Recovery Agents. Additionally, the detective whom the MP recently alleged couldn't do simple arithmetic discovered that Jaheda, who operated an M-Pesa shop in the city's Eastlands suburb prior to being recruited as Rigathe's personal assistant, and another female associate had received over 254 million shillings, which they could not account for. The Director of Criminal Investigation, George Kinoti, and the entire directorate celebrates the detective for a job well done in hostile environment. The directorate encouraged the Select to continue smoking out criminal out to milk the country dry and deny our future generation a country to inherit. Now, the story is very long but very elaborate, which does not need actually any explanation. It is just self-explanatory. Rigathi Gachagua goes ahead to use youth and women to acquire money, fraudulently even supplying fake, sometimes even hot air items, sometimes to the national government and the county government. And that is the country they want to lead as UDA government after this election. A man who fraudulently acquires money using the youth. People they are promising to reward after they win. They are saying that this government is going to be a Mamamboga government. A government of the youth. But you can see how Rigathi has been successfully abused, misused the youth to acquire money. Then they end up even paying loans that they never enjoyed. This is what they are calling bottom up. Look at that. And that's why you see their opponents are now using billboard to explain to the electorate that the UDA side is just a team of corrupt individuals who behave like gangsters, ready to milk dry the youth, the women, and the Kenyans at large if they get to power. I don't need to say too much because you have heard the story. I'm just requesting you to subscribe to this channel and drop your comment.